Okay, try to get a quick one here before my phone dies. I cut that other video up real quick so you didn't get a really long one. This one's just gonna be about your XRP and Bitcoin real fast. XRP, here's the thing. Brad Garlinghouse and the SEC, after they got their one judgment, Brad Garlinghouse wanted to go back to the SEC and basically they wanted to appeal, basically, get them back for all the time that they spent there, to prove a point that they've done nothing wrong, everything's good to go, and everything's fine like that. Just Torres is basically like, this is going to take a lot longer if you're really trying to do this. This isn't going to be that ticky-tacky for you. And Brad Garlinghouse, everybody that has XRP, we really don't care. We just want them to pay the fine so we can go to making money, so we can go to spending money, okay? So basically, Brad Garlinghouse comes out and they pull their appeal on that, so we're waiting to see if the SEC does the same thing, and then boom, waiting to see what Judge Torres says. Now, on the Bitcoin side, look at the word that I told you about months ago is supply shock, okay? So that is what you're getting. But fun fact, every time you hear supply shock, there's a couple of addresses that pops up out of nowhere. They got thousands and thousands of Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying? Now, what do I think? I think these exchanges that have low BTC, they reach out, they contact these people, because when you go and let's say you sold the whole Bitcoin on the market, right? The price is 110,000. You sell it. You don't get 110,000. You'll probably get like 108, 107. Now, to most people, it's like, oh, that's not a big deal. Now, if you have thousands of them, $300, right? Times 1,000 is a whole lot of money. What is that? That's $300,000. I don't know why it took so long, but it did. Okay, $300,000. So they probably offer them like at least spot, or they probably offer them premium. Okay, now most people are like, oh, they can just do this forever. It's one of the main selling points of Bitcoin. If they only say there's 21 million Bitcoin out there, there is only 21 million Bitcoin out there. If that ever changes, that is a hole in that theory. I'm not going to say it blows up the space, but you're looking at a significant downturn in that, okay? Now, as far as you got XRP, you got your Bitcoin. Fun fact about Bitcoin also, we talked about before what price I thought it was going to drop to before it started to come back up. I said 96, 95,000, but it could be a little bit more. The price that you ended up getting was about 98 to 99,000, okay? But hey, now you're coming up, and the chart pattern that it actually made is, surprise, surprise, it's an inverse head and shoulders. We'll talk about that another day, but we have talked about that before. Anybody that is still not in Bitcoin or any crypto whatsoever, the only thing I'm going to tell you, man, is they're talking about, right now, they're talking about 0% capital gains. And I talked about that before, that if you get that, that is the dinner bell. You get 0% capital gains, listen, then maybe not you, but think about the people that really have the money to affect these things in the way that everybody wants, like retail, okay? It would be institutions. Institutions and bigger hedge funds and people that make investments, they look at things like return on investments, ROI, okay? Part of the other things that they look at with that is taxes, the money that they're gonna have to pay for when they do sell. They're trying to pay as least money as possible and make as much money as possible. So if you float out a 0% capital gains tax on anything, any investment, real estate, stocks, whatever, crypto, okay, they're gonna look in that direction. Now, they're not just gonna buy anything, they're gonna look for a good investment, but understand a good return for them is about 10%, man. So if you're looking at Bitcoin, people are talking about right now, you see a move, implied move to 150,000, that is 50%. 6, 8, 9 months out, that is, you're talking about 1,900,000, that's a 10x. 10x, 0% capital gains, they can sell when they want. Understand? Okay? That is your quick one right there. XRP, BTC, everything like that. Happy 4th of July. I'm out of here. Okay? Be easy.